Most people don't realize they're burned out until their body forces them to stop, until they crash, get sick, feel exhausted all the time, or suddenly can't function the way they used to. But such burnout doesn't start with collapse. It starts quietly, gently, in ways that are easy to ignore, especially if you're high functioning, capable, and used to pushing through. So in this video, I want to walk you through the early signs of burnout that show up just before the crash. Not the obvious ones like you're tired or you're stressed, but the quieter signals your body sends when it's been under pressure for too long. And if you recognize yourself in this isn't about scaring you. It's about helping you intervene early, while your body is still asking and not demanding, be it intervening through reaching out to a doctor or whatever works for you. Now, with that being said, let's redefine burnout. Burnout isn't just working too much. It's not about how many hours you work. Burnout is what happens when your output exceeds recovery for way too long. When your nervous system stays in on mode without enough moments of safety, rest, or emotional processing. And here's the part most people miss. You can be burned out and still be functioning, still be productive, still capable, still doing fine on the outside. Your body doesn't crash immediately. It adapts first, and adaptation is where these early signs live in. So well then, let's dive into sign number 1. You're tired, but rest doesn't actually restore you. This is usually one of the first signs. You sleep, you take a day off, you try to rest, but you don't feel restored. You wake up already feeling tired, or you feel okay for an hour and then flat again. This isn't laziness, and it's not a sleep problem alone. It's often a sign that your nervous system is stuck in a low-level stress response, and your body never fully drops into repair mode. So rest doesn't land. And the danger here is that people respond by pushing harder instead of softer. Sign number 2, small things feel disproportionately hard. This one is subtle but important. Things that used to feel easy now feel heavy. Replying to messages, making decisions, starting simple tasks. Not because you can't do them, but because everything feels like effort. This happens when your mental and emotional bandwidth are depleted. Your body is conserving energy, not because you're weak, but because it's protecting you or it's trying to protect you. And here an important note. If your capacity feels smaller than it used to be, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. It's feedback from your body. It's your body saying, I've been carrying too much for way too long. And your job is then to respond, but more on that soon. So moving on to sign number 3. You feel wired, restless, or unable to switch off. Burnout doesn't always look like collapse. Often it looks like agitation. You're tired but can't relax. You sit down but you feel restless. You scroll but you don't feel soothed. Your body doesn't feel safe enough to rest, so it stays alert. This wired but tired state is one of the clearest early signs that your nervous system is showing you that it is overextended. Sign number 4, your body starts communicating through symptoms. Before burnout becomes emotional, it often becomes physical. Things like headaches, digestive issues, muscle tension, a tight jaw or shoulders, frequent minor illnesses, hormonal disruption. These aren't random. They're your body's way of releasing pressure when it hasn't had another way, another outlet. When emotional load isn't processed, the body carries it on and on. It builds up and burnout eventually happens. Then sign number 5, you feel emotionally flat or disconnected. This one often surprises people. Burnout isn't always feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes it's feeling numb. You don't feel deeply sad, but you don't feel deeply excited either. Things that used to light you up feel neutral. That emotional flattening is a protective response from your body. Your nervous system is conserving emotional energy because it's already stretched way too thin. Sign number 6, you're more irritable, but you can't explain why. You might notice less patience, quicker frustration, lower tolerance for noise, mess, or interruptions. And you think, why am I like this lately? This isn't a personality change, it's your nervous system under strain. Irritability often shows up before exhaustion because it's easier for the body to express. Sign number 7, you keep telling yourself, I just need to get through this. This one is less physical, but just as telling. If you keep thinking, once this phase is over, I will rest. Once this settles down, I will feel better. After this deadline, I will slow down. That's often a sign you've been postponing recovery for a long time. Burnout thrives in temporary survival mode that never ends. Burnout isn't necessarily caused by doing too much. It's caused by doing too much without enough regulation, rest, or emotional processing. Two people can have the same workload. One burns out and one doesn't. The difference is how safe their nervous system feels. So what do you do when you notice these signs? This part matters because noticing burnout signs without changing anything just creates anxiety. So let's talk about what actually helps early. Step number 1, stop waiting for permission to rest. You don't need to earn rest by collapsing. Rest is preventative, not a reward. If you wait until you're exhausted enough to deserve rest, you waited too long. Step number 2, lower the baseline stress, not just the peaks. Burnout isn't fixed by a weekend off, it's addressed by lowering daily pressure. This looks like fewer back-to-back commitments, gentler transitions, emotional check-ins, moments of slowness during the day and not just at night. Step number 3, process emotions in small doses. You don't need to do deep therapy sessions every day. You need regular emotional release. That might be talking things through, journaling briefly about whatever is going on, naming how you feel instead of suppressing it, allowing frustration without fixing it. Unpressed emotions drain energy, and that's that. Step number 4, stop using willpower as a recovery strategy. Pushing through works until it doesn't. Your body doesn't recover through discipline. It recovers through safety, and safety comes from listening and not forcing. When you respond to the signs that I mentioned early, something shifts. You don't crash, you don't break down, you don't have to start over. Your body recalibrates, energy stabilizes, clarity returns, resilience rebuilds, slowly but sustainably. Remember, burnout isn't weakness, it's a body that has been strong for too long without enough support. If you're noticing these signs, it doesn't mean you're failing, it means your body trusts you enough to communicate. So if this resonated and you want more grounded conversations about hormones, stress management, and body trust, come find me on Instagram. That's where I share daily insights and practical support. The link is in the description below. And if this video helped you recognize signs you hadn't noticed before, please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. And tell me in the comments which of these signs felt familiar to you. Listening early changes everything. Lots of love, and until next time.